What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 yet again. They dropped the first 43 minutes on IGN earlier today, and while the thing has like 15 ads in it, once you get past those and you watch the full thing, this game looks super, super good, and that's kind of the theme. That's kind of what we've been talking about with this game ever since it was shown off, and, you know, kind of right around the corner. February 11th, I believe, is the release date. We're about 2 months out, and if this is any indication of the rest of the game, and to be honest, it kind of is, and also we don't even have to speculate all that much because we have seen they've done a really good job of kind of communicating the different systems and the way this game is going to kind of play out through other videos. But it gives you, a look at how this game is going to work, right? With how the characters following like a day-night schedule, right? Following routines and the realistic kind of feel of the game, and they've done a lot of that already. That was a lot of the heavy work that they kind of led with this game, and now with this, well, you literally get to see the beginning of the game. So, well, obviously spoilers for the beginning of the game, but if you're watching this, you know that. So I like the idea of it starting out kind of action heavy and battle heavy, and in terms of kind of like putting you right in there, I guess in terms of, again, being in the action, it does that. But I saw some other comments talking about this. I thought I would echo it as well. The score, the music in this game, and I haven't really played Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 to know and be able to judge, how good the music or the soundtrack or anything like that is. But if this is, again, any indication, this game is going to sound really good. I mean, the sounds, like literal just hitting a sword against something, right? Like those things are already there and already sound good. But the actual score, like the music you're hearing, really, really kind of cinematic, kind of like this, not over the top, but I don't know, it just puts you in that war type feel, right? And then, that's how the game starts, kind of gets you that tutorial of, how to fight just a little, right? Switching weapons and, doing kind of like arrow shots from afar, and then also a little sword fighting, but not too much. And then you go back to the past, right? A few weeks earlier, and you pretty much get started with the game. You have a couple decisions. You kind of have your backstory that you're allowed to give. And I mean, yeah, like, we've watched now almost the first hour of the game. So, going into it, maybe we can even speed by, that part on our own. But it seems to kind of go through things rather nicely and not kind of drag on any one moment, right? Like, you have like this big war in the beginning, and then they have the peace treaty in their hand. They run into an enemy group, and you have to kind of talk your way out of it. You can fail it and still get by, obviously, but that's where you get your backstory, right? Or at least a little of your backstory. And then when you make camp, it opens up a little bit to the sense of, okay, well, now you can start to go around and start to talk to people and play dice and feed your dog and things like that. And then you sit down and you get even more of a backstory. And now that one, I guess, is literally a backstory. The first part, when you're kind of talking to the opposing side, that's more of like your background, right? Kind of like entry level stuff of where Henry came from the first game. Then you're allowed to kind of flesh it out and talk about, different aspects of your life through the first game. Talk about, what kind of weaponry is your favorite, things like that. And, even the duel is kind of important too, in the sense that, the first game, obviously very, very difficult, at least in my opinion, when it comes to sword fighting. I know that's the point. I know that's like the part of it where, hey, Henry is an untrained, individual, and he kind of needs to get better as the game goes. I get that. I was not good at it. It was a driving force to make me not finish the first game, something I do want to fix, before, I guess, we get to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But, watching it, and I don't remember how I felt about, like, watching the gameplay of the first game before I played it myself, but watching the gameplay now, it's like, you know what? I think I can do that. I think I can do those perfect blocks. I think I can do those thrusts. I think I can kind of perfect block, right? Like block, then strike right after. It looks like I'm able to do it. We'll see if I actually can, when the game comes out. I do think, like, from the levels that kept popping up in the top right corner, like, he's already a level 16, 17. I think he's 16, then he gets to a 17. And same thing for, like, his sword skills. So, he's not somebody that's untrained, right? In fact, in that duel, they're kind of going back and forth of tips, right? Hey, if this happens in an actual fight, you would do this. And the other person, says kind of the opposite. So, he knows what he's doing. And as you're playing as him, hopefully that comes off when you're actually playing, that it's easier to sword fight, not by making it like dumbed down entirely, not by making it unrealistic, because definitely realism is a really big part of the entire series at this point. I don't want them to get rid of that, and I can appreciate that about the first game, even though I'm terrible at it. At least I can kind of respect that that's what they're going for. I do just hope, the game's very popular, but to attract new people, I do think you're going to have to make it slightly easier, or at least aspects of it, or even difficulty levels for that matter, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm really impressed. I was already impressed with this game. I think one thing that really impressed me, like back in the day, like a couple months ago, was that kind of day night, and if you're going around like 5-6 a.m., there's not going to be a lot of people out because they're not awake yet. They're not like doing their morning routines yet. And I found that just so cool, of just that realism and just how deep that the systems go in this game. And then this, again, like the first 43 minutes, you kind of get everything. You kind of get a bunch of different aspects of the game of, choosing, decision-making skills, right? Fighting, and just kind of getting into like the atmosphere of this game too. Again, I think the music does a really good job of doing that as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.